The most intelligent people are the ones who do music. When you want to call the next contemporary musicians, Chief One is in there. We are intentional about what? Pushing Kini Isu there to be what? Our next superstar.
Now that was Elorm Beenie, someone who understands what it means to manage an artist, someone who understands the creative space very well, and he has been in the Volta region for a while. He has worked on several big, huge projects. So if someone like this is telling you about the creatives or how to make it in the music industry or the creative space as a whole, well, you probably have to listen because he knows what he's talking about. This is going to be a long conversation because we went to an event and this guy just opened up and then let out all his knowledge. You might want to sit down and then relax for this one because it's going to be a little long. I'm going to grab a piece of, where is it? My Javiti, so that we sit and listen to what this guy has to say. It's going to be in different segments so that you can skip to wherever you want to listen to. He spoke initially about what killed or almost killed the creative space in the Volta region where Voltarians really don't want to attend events anymore because of past experiences. Then he also touched on a few things that he is doing with some other people in the creative space, making sure that that confidence in the Volta region and the creatives, where people can now pay money to go watch shows, is actually happening. So let's go listen to the first part of this conversation. When we get back, I'll tell you more. It's don't be again for Visit Volta. Colonel Franklin here. I'll see you in the next one.
Yes, you know, to answer your question, sorry, I'm not so much of a good talker when it comes with speech. I'm powerful when it comes to text, but I'll try as much as possible to articulate myself. The issue of events getting better, it was something that was planned by us. I'm sure my brother here, Etonam Sami, who is in the house, who has been able to do a lot of work to create Volta Creative Arts Industry, which is a virtual. Now coming to, we'll soon have an office. It was something that was planned by us because people like myself and my brother Johnila, who has been in the event and media or creative space, we realized that some years past, 15, 20, 25 years, that's where I'll bring my big brother Efosule. Whilst we were growing up, they were our senior brothers who were playing football and we were around them. So this very conversation I'll bring up for him and Richard Amega, this Master Bond, they will understand me. We realized that in the 90s, early 2000s, we didn't have so much of event organizers because they lacked some ideas on how to run events. Pleasure garden le watching about, you call Brafo ball, you call Tic Tac ball, you call book bag ball, Adok Bome, Fioko Omevao. Ta enyan kehe eva defunemile amuganu to ome alebebebe ne amedele event wa no akpolo ehajila alu fefe wala de kovechela amweko ne if me chedu ko aga bele lo aga hoebega. I don't have a pleasure garden low, and you should have made men of a fan girl at Apple Vazu. Something that I learned professionally, and it's now a business, so I understand the terrain very well. I do a pleasure garden for 4 mega to aluga and ne, Agbafmene do high cost ball, traffic light, Obrafo Valo. I put to Agboy the bombe. America do jackets, garden, le stage. So it was something that actually destroyed the nightlife or the events in Volta region. And when it comes to this, you guys from the southern side, you've done extremely well. You've tried your best and you moved to crowd. Until recently, it was something that was a problem. Until recently, my brother and myself, we decided to step in. And I'm saying this with all humility but pride as well to say that some of the big shows, nationally and internationally, that you've heard of, my brother and myself have been part of. The AfroNation, the Afrochella. We've produced shows with DSTV, the TV3s, even the recent VGMA Nominees Jam that came here. It was through our efforts. So we decided to do what? So we decided to what? Clean up the space, not to blame past event organizers because they were also foundation organizers who started something. Tanke hemi kpobomele wa wanywedodi yami dafo mebe elebenimka nemi wa miache miabe wodi nejele wozeme. Then my brother started what? Street Jamboree, River Jamboree in Joapon. Tafifie, back to the conversation that we have about the African free trade initiative. Fifie namedelege hunyabe evelianye jonela le Street Jamboree wadi ado wava no do vadin kale jojogbe. It benefits the ecosystem. Filling station le Joapon bome amedela si toto ejra amedele agbalika klojra hotel le tepede. So on the side of music, this was how we've been able to open up the space so that it benefits the ecosystem. It is also part of creative arts because somebody used their intellectual property or their intellect to design what is here. When we are having conversations like this, we the creative people are almost the least or arguably non-existent in these conversations until now. Ne photographer melu, ne videographer melu, majele no metata jimi akbo. That it is something that we've been able to do, and I think we are still in the regurgitating state or the baby stages because we've done a lot of work to brand and rebrand a lot of our creatives. It's not just musicians. Now we can boast of dancers who are from our region. We can boast of comedians. Thank you. So it's an action that we've been able to put in place. Also because these things, YMCA bome, unofefewa lefimi, amegwe no hupo unya YMCA unofefewa, alowa wele vota star radio ji, kwese adengane, blend of yewe. You see, but like my brother said, we are in a digital space. How do we adapt to civilization and also take advantage of tech? To answer your question, all these things and all these actions from the back is what has made it very open that Asogli Teza White House you guys saw the results. My big brother Edem, I partnered with him and Dream Child Foundation in Jubilee Park. That entire show, it was on my neck. We produced it. It was nice. I'm not here to take the glory alone. They were also part of us. To add, whilst we are projecting Volta region, mega ngoloblebe amejruwecho lemiadumo. Tafrachele hubome kodogolito lemiagbo, ausato lemiagbo, kableto lemiagbo, sisalato lemiagbo. Tame ganyen ke imiachimambe u Volta region de ko. Ela bena gedeo lemiadumela o desron lemiadume. There's been a lot of conjoined families or marriages in the Volta region. In as much as we are projecting Volta region, we should not limit it to just a Volta region dedeco. It should be something that we should design to benefit people who are living with us and also people who are living outside us to come home, and also vice versa. We can also do what? This year, Asogli Festival, Miko de Kumasimila launch left me. Mefia Bedi, Mewele, Huboma Volta region, is not benefiting Volta region. There are a lot of Voltarians in Kumasi or Ashanti region, in other regions as well. So, in as much as we are projecting the region, how do we step beyond these boundaries to also sell the bigger idea?
There was a good question about the Oxygen City. We said, what is the Oxygen City? But what the citizens are doing to destroy this legacy, what the community, what the assembly, what everyone else is doing to destroy the community. Someone asked a question on this, and his answer was quite intelligent. He doesn't want to speak and then offend anyone, so he answered it intelligently. And yeah, he also spoke about what we can do as creatives or as individuals to make sure that the Oxygen City or the Oxygen City in whole, well, becomes what it actually is. Let's go listen.
I work with Rocky Daoni, who is a 3-time Grammy nominee and UN Ambassador for Environment. So, and I am a whole citizen. I know about Atikume. So this is very, very personal to me. When I saw the building of the Volta Regional Library and all that has been cleared, I was heartbroken. back to answering your question, where do we move from here? Like I said earlier, we must be what? Intentional about everything that we are doing. I work in the creative sector, and I'm more inclined with what? Music, or where musicians work, dancers, producers, songwriters, composers. That is where I am. So what is my intention for my side of the industry I am working in? How do I better that to fit into the regional conversation that my brother Jonila spoke about in terms of digitalizing what we have? If you are in the construction sector, how are you also intentional about revolting this to fit into your narrative so that it benefits all of us? If somebody is in sports, my brother Jerome, who is sitting there, he works with one of the finest football clubs in Ho here, Home Stars, Apeloto. So how do we all in our various disciplines focus on being intentional and growing culture to fit into this narrative to benefit all of us? The two of us knew that, PR was very bad, branding was very bad, event space was very bad, and anything media was very bad. So what? We took it upon ourselves on the quiet, without anybody telling us, do this, do that, do that. For the past 10 years, I have been in this space for over 18 years. I am very young, but very inquisitive. I've done professionally over 18 years. When I look back, what was my blueprint? What was the build-up? How is the growth? And anyone who knows me can track whatever I've done in the past till now. How is everybody intentional about what they are doing, where they are? That's what it is, brighten the corner where you are. If this gets to us and we are intentional, you are an artist. Maybe you are an urban artist. As an urban artist, how do you even create your productions to sell Volta region? How does your lyrics fit into the urban sound, but again, selling Volta region? If you're a traditional artist, how intentional are you about selling that rich Volta traditional culture to fit into other cultures, whereby you are educating, entertaining, informing, and changing status quo? Madakugu, am I making sense here?
Yeah, you are.
So if we are intentional about what you are doing, comes back to my big brother Joe's request about creating a developmental plan. That was also personal to me. In the next 5-10 years, how do we want to dovetail the various disciplines in the creative, tourism, and arts circles to bring about growth? Netherlands, I've been to Netherlands. Their focus was administration. The whole country, Netherlands, is sitting on water. But when it comes to administration, they are the finest people who sell administration. We are here, even our food. Yes. Even our hotels.
Yes.
How are our hotels biting into this narrative to make sure that they have the finest chefs, so that if somebody comes to eat wokbele in Ho or anywhere in Volta region, it is different from when you are eating from outside. Tourism now is not just a destination, it's an experience.
Of course.
How are we selling all this experience?
The next session, Elorm was confused about why music and dance was taken out of the Ghanaian curriculum, like our educational system. And, well, he spoke about his frustrations. I also really don't understand why, but let's go see what he has to say on this topic.
When we were young, during my time, whilst they were also in school, they had music and dance. But that has been completely taken off the basic curriculum for whatever reason, I don't know. And Kaburi school, Medelo, soldier school. But we had music and dance. And you may know group me bolo, and I dovetail it into the urban way of doing things. But that sometimes these are the challenges that we face. So now somebody leaves senior high school or junior high school and they say they are an artist. So it's a lot of work. Now to answer your question, music especially because you are talking about music, is a very expensive venture. It's not cheap. If anybody here thinks music is cheap, it's a very big lie. If we show you some budgets that we use to even do promo alone, you run away. Artist or super. I am just one man. My brother here is just one man. We are not major international labels like the Sony Music, the Universal Records, the Island Records. What can we do? We can only do what we can do. There's a lady sitting in front of you. She's called Queen Aram, sitting next to, just behind. She's an artist. Very talented artist. We've been talking for some time now. I've been trying to see how best I can help. But I am under-resourced, even as an indie label. For Israel Afia, it took me about 5 years to put everything together and even work out on a rollout plan. That's 5 years old. So now when you go on the internet, we are either Google, just type Israel Maweta. Everything on him will pop up, from his songs, his interviews, his press material, everything pops up. If you play Israel Maweta's song somewhere, copyright will strike you down. It took us about 4 or 5 years to what? To get this. It's not just a walk in the park. It takes time. Me have the virtual FD. Oh, when I'm the all the time. I walk a lot. Anyone who knows me, I'm doing it intentionally because I want all the creatives to have direct access to me. And the work ball like oh, if woman nonda, if woman jahadenamwa. How do I take you serious? You all know Chief One. I knew Chief One from 2017, and each time he approaches me, oh, Bossu, I have a new song. Oh, can you listen to it for me? What do you think is good? How best do you think I can fine-tune my sound? That was what he was doing. So among the other artists who are in Ho here, he was outstanding. He knew that he needed to work with me, or he needed to leverage on my platform as well as my brothers. So he found a better way to approach me. My blog no. Yes, he found a better way to approach. Fast forward 2019, after Volta Music Awards, he had high expectations. He thought that, oh, it was the thing. There was a fallout with him. Then he had to go into hibernation. Took him about 2 years to rework on himself. Then from afar, I was looking at him, I'm like, wow, our brother is ready. And fast forward 2021, the last quarter of 2021, something just told me, no, Elorm, this is the time you need to put your brother on the road. We did everything. By December, around this time, that was when his song Novai became a viral thing in the Volta region. Do you know the funny thing? It took somebody in the northern region to resend the video back to me. She's a nurse. She's called Saratu. She's even in Bolga. If anybody knows how far, so somebody in Bolga is sending me an error video she doesn't understand, but she says what? She loves it. Means that what? Music is beyond just language. Music itself is a language. When it hits you, you feel it. So it was a prompt for me that, the work where I want to do, somebody where they Bolga, where know they understand my language, they tell me, say they like him, so do a fast rollout on him. We did that with the support of my two brothers here. It's not my glory, it's all of us. My brother Tonam of Volta Creative Arts, the founder, Kwame V, Ashabi, and Odwela, those of you who know him. It took my brother Giovanni Caleb, 3 FM, and TV3, the one who was Dates Rush. So intentionally, I had to connect with my brothers. Charlie, we have a new guy that I think is the popping sound. How best can we develop him into a national and international asset? 2 years on, when you want to call the next contemporary musicians, Chief One is in there. And it's not just him. Just last week, he flew straight from Dubai to go and perform about 2 or 3 clubs to perform at Edem Agbana's concert in Georgia. We connected him to what? Fancy Garden from the north. That's where permit me to talk about something. I call it cultural crossing. we need to also input the cultural crossing factor into our creative sector. Cultural crossing, what do I mean? Do a collaboration. When you are crossing culture, they are learning from you, you are also learning from them. Then it widens your market. So cultural crossing is a very essential part of all these things. Coming back to answer your question. Now, we need investors. It's like, it's like, it's a resort for hoodlums or hooligans or outcasts in society. But the most intelligent people do music. If you're not intelligent, yes, the most intelligent people are the ones who do music. If you're not intelligent, how do you translate or transcribe language into something that makes sense to people and even influences them? And you must know mathematics to do music because it's calculation, rhythm, melody. So it's the most intelligent people that actually do music. Ta Volta Original, ta Flachemia for Chichiado, Almia Dachichiado, they even sack some of us from the house. I'm not saying me particularly, but yes, it's like, oh, Oba Navazu doctor, Navazu banker, you say you want to do music. Music is paying people arguably the most than people who are even doing 95 jobs. Is it not true? You are seeing your superstars now. Let me just mention the ones from Volta, Stoneboy, Edem, Miss V. Miss V just flew from Australia to play a show yesterday, and she's in US, I'm sure by now. This is what music gives. Music or the creative sector and tourism. We can sell any business at all. I'm glad Madam is here. I played Asogli Time with the Stars concert. Some of my artists lodged at your facility, Africa Hill. We paid bills. That is what we do, what? To benefit the ecosystem. Number then you wait my money that is coming to what? Book the hotel will also pay them at the end of the month. So we need a huge investment. That is a huge value, is a very long value chain. So people should invest in us, those of us that you know that you can approach. What investment are you guys also bringing on board? It shouldn't always be we giving out. Me and my brother here, we've lost more than anything because Taflachelo, oh, Elorm Beenie, Stoneboy promoting, I them promoting. So on the back of that, they think that we are promoting our region over them, which is not the goal. And you can't fault them for that. And they forgot that I've worked with Samini, who is from the north, over 10 years. I've worked with Rocky Dawuni over 10 years from the north. Kofi Kinata blowing up. Some of us were huge influences. T-Flow, Kaki blowing up. Gaka, if they see me pushing Kini I song, they will, oh, Elorm the Volta people. But that is not the case. That on our level, we suffer a lot, please. So we are appealing. I was supposed to even break this news later, but let me just break it here because I need investors. His album dropping on the 5th. In January 2 is his birthday month. So we are playing an album concert for him. If anybody wants proposal, I have the proposal here. We need money to play that concert. And he deserves it. Our big brother doesn't have to beg to play his show. So these are the things that we face. Lastly, sorry I've taken so much time. When they come to me, or they want to blow tomorrow. No. Stoneboy started recording in what? 2003. How many years? 20 years. And his first major song he recorded in the studio was with who? Afromosis. Many people don't even know. But when they see Stoneboy, they thought, oh, Stoneboy just became superstar overnight. It's a process. There's an artist called Kofi Bright. I started working on him last year. 9 months, he had to go for voice training. He has to even go to the gym because there's a look that I want you to have and be presentable. Gakanova, Ole Haji, off key. Some don't even know their music notes. When you tell them that you need a music coach, Okwajiku or Elorm Beenie, they know like me, will sabotage me, susupon. Apart from that, there's a long queue. Chief One is there. Now, Kini Eyes is there. We are intentional about what? Pushing Kini Eyes to there to be what? Our next superstar. Thank God, our big brother, our legend, Israel Maweta is here. So we are pushing him there. After him, who do we put there next? Where are the investors?
if you're finding value in this, it will be a good time to tell us what you think, your thoughts about all that the conversation is about, and then what you think should be improved. Now, in the next session, you also spoke about what young artists or coming up artists should do to level up themselves, or level up when it comes to their creative space, the things you should be doing as a music artist or stuff like that.
Flexal, to answer you, abeleke Johnny Lag fine bela lebemiabe azanduduwe or our festivals, we need to rebrand them. It's very fine. But on the back of that, I want to play a devil's advocate. We also need to get involved as the young ones. If we don't get involved, how do we change the narrative? Yes, so you have to get close to the elders. There are so many things they are not enlightened about. Mia make wehenye mia jilaube viewedi. Mi tedon mi do down. See how long it took me that I'm a whole citizen, how long it took me to even get to that Asogli State to even play a show for them. Even this year, it was a struggle. It took me 48 hours to play Asogli Time with the Stars. 48 hours to book artists, do flyers, book hotels, transport. 48 hours. It doesn't mean I'm a superpower, bet. Me atori ndeweledi umenya pakple ngodo chedi o disappoint we. So you need to avail yourself and prove yourself that, oh, this is what exactly you can do. Then our elders can also open up to us. If we are not getting close to them and we want to always blame them, there is a problem. Flexal, to answer your question about them not involving us, halfway, I think I've answered you. I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. And I proved myself. And it's not just me, it's a collective effort. The success of that show is because of brothers like this on this panel who helped me to what? Take the, to give the bigger output. They are trying, getting sponsorship. We do events. Charlie, you go explain Taya. I'm doing my big brother Israel Mawete's concert. We have 0 CDs or dollars. We have to start chasing people. Charlie, no be easy. If you've done events before and you've spent and you've paid people, about 200 people working under you, but they don't know what goes into it. So it's a lot of struggle. So let's help our traditional leaders and again, our potential investors. We know our work it involves a lot of money, but even if you can't give us certain figures, meet us halfway. Like I was saying about the hotel. Madam, now that I know you, I'll move to you plenty. Please give us the creatives some discount on your services. And yes. And aside that, find a way to involve us. Before Sky Plus Hotel, Volta Regional Minister told last year, I had to do an entire PR run for them, rebranding the place visually by creating new photos, new videos, and all of that. Recently, I've been doing another one for what? Volta Serene Hotel. Those of you who are on my Facebook or social media pages, you see that. It's intentional. Nobody employed me there, but I intentionally decided to do what? Do that. If I move to Africa Hill, they should also understand me that I'm also doing this. So in return, what do I also gain for using my million followers, my hundreds of thousand followers that you don't have, but me and my artists have? Ta enyen kiri, majemio chedi, nemikbo, emeda.
So what is the next step? If all that he has said has been useful and reasonable to you, I entreat you to look at the playlist that I've created about all the talks that went on that day, about the creative space, about music, about culture, about performances in the Volta region and across the board. Some professors also spoke about their thoughts. Some experts discussed what we can do as a region to make sure that the creative space goes well. Don't be again for Visit Volta. I'll see you when I see you. Esema.